So I got to tell you, this is what I think I said the fourth convention or something like that I've done. I'm already overwhelmed by this shit. You were seeing a lot of just mundane PG-13 crap, and James Wan comes back and says, no, we're going to go R rating. We're not trying to appeal to the masses. I want to appeal to a very specific group of people and prove that there's an audience for harder horror films. And it worked. Part about going to Hollywood is you get kicked in the balls 99 times, and you have to be willing to be kicked in the balls 99 times. That 100th time is Saw 2, that 100th time is Saw 3. The 99 times before that, you never hear about. Well, no one cares about Josh. I mean, you're realistic right now.
Who's Josh?
He wrote Spiral. Right, exactly. Who is Josh?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin. Darren and Josh make a movie.
All right, everyone, welcome to Darren and Josh Make a Movie. This is Darren and Josh eat pizza like fat slobs and drink beers and old fashions at Residuals Tavern. By the way, aren't we doing the next, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, we are going to do office hours here.
Tonight at 7, tonight between 7 and 9, office hours here at Residuals. Everybody will be here. Come hang out, have a drink. So I know you heard some news about the film, but you didn't tell me what it was. What your new film? What's going on?
Fucking Hollywood. It just, the movie got pushed. It's only a few weeks, but it was a few weeks last time. And it's one of those things that suck because, you know, I have a very angry wife, very neurotic children. And so you prep, hey, I'm going to be leaving on this date, and kids, I'll see you when I see you. Yep. And then they push the movie and they push the movie. And it's that reality of Hollywood, which I cannot fucking stand, which is, as a filmmaker, I have very little control over my schedule or life. So
when is it shooting now?
I have no clue.
Late January?
So we're
early February?
We're supposed to be prepping in December, going down for the holidays, coming back and prepping a week and a half, and then shooting, which is ridiculous to me. Like, why are we prepping in the middle of a holiday?
Yep.
But it has something to do with the sound stage and one of the actors' availability. So we'll see.
Got it.
Needless to say, I was not in a very good mood. I get very angry about shit like that.
One thing that I think would be a good idea for films, and we did this for Saw X, was, and it wasn't a decision that was made for the good of the film. It was because there were some issues with special effects, and they couldn't finish the special effects in time. So they basically took a 2-week gap during filming. So
that's cool because you can get caught up on editing.
Yes, you get caught up on editing. You see what you're missing. You see any performances you want to tweak. I mean, it's really helpful, but you can't do it because of the crews. You can't ask a crew member to just like, all right, you're not going to be working for the next 2 weeks and we're not paying you. Well, but it is really cool for making a movie.
It sucks because, you know, I don't get paid until we start production on this thing. And so it's just like 3 weeks was the first push. Now 2 weeks on this push. I could have been doing music videos or shooting other stuff, and I'm just sitting here waiting. Mm-hmm. And I get angry and bitter.
You know, waiting.
Do you see who's here? We have a couple special guests for Jordan.
Get over here. You didn't tell me she was coming today.
That was one of the worst acting jobs. Like, she's standing right there. We're like, look who's here. Come on over. It is now going to be a staple in our podcast. I am a fan because, you know, she surprised us at our last office hours. And she's going to be my new drinking buddy. And you live very close to me, too. So,
what up? What up, everyone, again?
So, Hana, Darren and I haven't seen each other in a week because he was gone doing a horror convention.
That's right. That was in Florida. No.
Orlando.
Wait, Florida? Orlando,
yep.
Yes. Spooky
Empire.
Spooky Empire.
Have you done
big one?
Have you done Spooky Empire?
I haven't done Spooky yet. I just started doing cons, so.
I mean, I got to be honest. So, you know, since we met with you the first time, you were the first episode. We have decided on one of the paths we're taking is on conventions, and it's going to be a killer con where antics ensue and death ensues in a con. And it's been a long time since I've done a con. I mean, probably 6 years. So when this opportunity, I was like, this is perfect. I want to go and see it. It was crazy. Overwhelming, upsetting, humiliating, awesome. All the words. Josh, I think it's critical that you go to one of these and do one. And I think that
Just to feel horrible about myself, they'll be like, "Who the fuck is this loser?"
No, they love you.
no, I don't, Josh, I don't think so. I think we'd be fine. It was good. The con was great. The people there were fantastic. But I'm going to break down the business, which I've learned a lot about how these things work. Hey, what's up, dude? Come in. Mudge. You got sound on this bad boy too? Let's go downstairs. I got to go get some DVDs. No, I already gave most of it away. This. I got this. I got my man purse. Let's go. I'm wearing a man purse. I'm kind of trying to figure this out. I'm good. Thank you.
Man purse.
Yeah, don't judge me.
No judgments. Anything special that you have to keep in the man purse?
Lots of chapstick.
Okay.
Decks of cards.
Oh.
Yeah, I've in my midlife crisis, it was learning magic. So I think it was really when I hit 40, I just started teaching myself magic tricks and going to the magic castle. So now I just keep cards and weird stuff with me.
I love the Magic Castle. That place is so much fun.
It is. I went on my 40th birthday and it was really cool because as I'm sitting there having dinner, Paul Rubens walks up to me and I would know Pee-wee, but it didn't immediately connect. It was Paul Rubens. And he goes, "I heard it's your birthday." And I was like, "Yeah." And I thought it was just a random guy. And I was like, "Thanks." And then I was like, "Oh my God." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's me, Paul." And so I was ever since then, I've been going to Magic Castle 3 or 4 times a year and just taking magic classes. So I keep just magic shit with me. The last time I did one of these things, I think 5 people came to see me. And it was so humiliating because I'm on Matthew Lillard is like on this side of me over here. And then like, I forgot who was on the other side of me. And they had like lines that went down like blocks. And I would have like an old grandma. She'd be like, "Oh, are you Darren Aronofsky?" And I'm like, "No, it's not me." And then she would just walk on by. I mean, just imagine how awesome it is if a killer breaks out in one of these things. I'm telling you, look at it.
So you've worked with some incredible editors, composers, production designers. How important is these collaborations in a horror filmmaking process for you personally?
I mean, they're huge. There's a phrase or a saying that I did learn in Full Sail, which is you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. During when I went to film school, I was not the best director there. I was not the best director in the class. I'm just like a cockroach. I can't be stomped on or killed. And I think it's perseverance. And, a lot of people I went there with, I am only as good as the people that they put me near. And I think that on Saw 2, I was very lucky. They brought back Charlie Clouser, who, outside of 9 Inch Nails and all of that, I mean, he did Saw 1. And they brought in David Armstrong, who was the DP of Saw 1, and that gave me a foundation. Then Kevin Greuter, the editor of Saw 1. So I think on the first Saw, they surrounded me with the best. Then the crew in Toronto, it was the same thing. That same crew came back to do Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4 onwards. Even some of them came back on Spiral. And that is why I think those films were so successful, is that it was real artists making them. And then I've done some shitty films that I did not work with really a lot of artists, and you can tell when you look at them. It's the same director. I'm the same guy that made the Saw movies. I also made a movie called 11/11, which I challenge anyone to watch and get through. It's just you have to surround yourself with great people. So I consider the majority of my success to other people, not me. I am positioned between Cassandra Peterson and Cassandra Peterson as Elvira, not just Cassandra Peterson.
That's a hard one. Because people say, because she's very expensive. If they're going to pay money for her, they have to, say my refund.
I have a great promoter. And so his job is he brings 4 or 5 of his clients. And everyone had a table. Cassandra had 2 tables. I had 4 tables. 4 tables of my shit. I could have used half a table and I would have been fine. And there's Cassandra Peterson with a table, but a line that literally wrapped around the entire commitment. But something awesome that did happen. Method Man was there.
Amazing.
Okay. Now, I don't print out my pictures, and I don't know what pictures they're going to bring. I brought posters and I brought some shit, but they have all these 8x10s.
Who's they?
The guy, the booking agent. His name's Chris Rowe. We have to have him on. He's great. One of the pictures they got of me was on set, and I had a Wu-Tang shirt on.
and I had no idea Method Man was going to be there.
Oh,
So
that's
the
awesome.
entire night. I'm like watching. His line is huge, and he's got big security guys around him.
That's so funny.
So very early in the morning, before the lines got huge, I took my Wu-Tang shirt and I signed it "Best Wishes, Darren," and I thought I was going to walk over to him and hand it to him. So I find my moment. I walk over, and the security guy goes, and I was like, and he goes, and I was like, yeah, I'm there. And he takes the picture, he looks at it, he's like, I'll give it to him. And so I go back to my table, I'm dejected. And about 3 minutes later, this woman walks over and she goes, "This you?" And I was like, "That's me." And she goes, "I'm Method Man's manager. Bad time now. I'm going to find a time for you guys to talk." Okay, I said, awesome. 10 minutes later, Method Man comes over to my table and he hugs me.
I love it. That's amazing.
My Wu-Tang shirt. Wu-Tang brings people together.
Isn't he the nicest?
He's great.
I did a movie with the RZA. Speaking
Did you really?
Really? What was it?
It's called Love Beats Rhymes. We shot in New York, and Wu-Tang had a cameo in it. And he was so nice.
Now I get to try to track down Chris Rock.
He's you know what? He's easier than Sam Jackson. That's for sure.
Sam Jackson does an occasional send in like private signing though. I've never seen
I
Chris.
got to tell you that Chris was one of the most amazing dudes. Like when we were shooting, he would stand outside when people that walked by wanted pictures. He took pictures, did signings.
Really?
Didn't give a fuck. He was the most chill.
Straight.
Yeah. Well, are you excited that you're here for Halloween? I mean, this is the place to be. There's a lot of bad guys and villains here and monsters. What's your name?
Sophia.
Sophia. I'm Darren. It's nice to meet you. She's not here. Every time I walk over, she's not here. I told you. I didn't think you were here. I walked by like 10 times and I'm like, that's not her. And she's like, no, she's there. I was like, that's not her.
People think that Tessa is me sometimes.
I know, because he goes, she's over there. I was like, I'm telling you, she's not. That's not her. Do you know what to me is the most awkward thing about this? Is when someone comes over and they're like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan. I'm such a huge fan. I'm like, awesome. And they're like, we don't want anything. We just want to let you know we're a huge fan. And then they just stand there. And then I don't know what to do. Or like what just happened was his mother brought her kids over and they're like, you're a favorite director. I was like, awesome. And they're like, this is whatever her kid's name was. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then we just stand there. And I'm like, here's all. And then I'm like, look at all my merch.
Petey, he runs the show.
Yeah, I just met him.
Okay, the stories that he probably has for you will probably blow your mind too. I've known Petey for a million. The show is one of my very first shows I took.
Yeah, he came over and was very excited because a lot of his people are Repo fans.
I watched your podcast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you ever want another writer person,
You're the guy?
I'm a production guy. You could see what I do.
I love it, man. Well, dude, you know what? Wait a minute. You are a perfect guest as well because of this. You can answer a ton of questions that we have.
Yeah.
Make sure I get your information before the weekend's over.
Yeah. We'll talk. We've got a VIP party.
Awesome.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Perfect.
But
man.
I just wanted to introduce.
Tell me your name again so I don't
Petey.
Petey.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Have you met anyone at the conventions that you're like, holy shit, that person's so... Have you like met a celebrity or anyone? Because like I have one person I got to talk about, but have you met anyone at your conventions that was like a fellow signer? That you're like, holy shit.
Super.
Yeah, I had two geek out.
Well, let's hear yours first.
Nicholas Holt was one table over from me. Nicholas Holt, who, Renfield or Nosferatu or Mad Max. But the one, this is a weird one. This is a deep cut. I remember as a kid growing up that I would notice certain character actors and I would be like, I didn't understand who they were, but I would be like, that guy's in that movie and that movie and that movie. And one of those first guys was a guy named William Forsythe. And I think I recognized him first from Dick Tracy. He plays Flat Top in Dick Tracy. Then he was in this movie called Weeds and he was in Raising Arizona, the TV show Capone. But now he's more supposedly for Rob Zombie stuff.
Right.
He is my spirit animal. I'm going to put a picture up. I got a picture with him. I geeked out. But the entire con, he gives zero fucks. He wore flip-flops and shorts the entire con. And like he would just walk around with a flip-flop.
Oh my God.
And I'd be like, this is the guy I want to be when I get older. So I want to be the guy in flip-flops and board shorts at a con.
I fucking love that. That's awesome.
I do want to get you. I'm going to find out if I can get you in one for real and call it research and I think you'll do well. I really do.
So too.
I'm going to put a big poster above my head that just says like, I'll give you a blowjob if you ask for my autograph.
No, you have a big following because you have the Saws and you have Piranha Fury.
And
Good luck, Chuck.
You're very kind. Nobody gives a shit about me, but thank you. How about you? Did you meet someone that you were really excited about?
I met a few people that I really loved. Like speaking of Mad Max, I met Vernon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was cool. He was so nice. Heath Coogan from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I was like, what that? Watching baby all the time. He was amazing.
Love it.
I've only done like a total of 4 cons, so I'm still kind of like
Are you
new-ish in the.
And do you have somebody like Darren has, which is
I have an
a
account
person?
agent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucas Ayers. He's awesome.
We have another guest that's going to come in and join us, everyone. Morgan Rims, put that on, Morgan Rims. Here, Morgan, I'm gonna...
I would have shaved had I known.
That you were going to be on camera?
Yeah.
Here, put that on, Morgan.
20 years since Saw 2?
20 years.
Oh my goodness.
20 years last week.
20 years last week. And I mean, you've helped expand Saw into being one of the biggest horror franchises of all time. What was it that you like wanted to bring to the series that you felt had never been done before?
I mean, this is my philosophy on horror and it's changed as I've gotten older, because when I did Saw 2, I think I was 23 when I wrote it. I was 24 when I directed it. At that point, it was blood and gore. I thought that was cool. I was like, that's what's going to be cool. And as I've gotten older, what I think is cool and what I think is scary has completely changed. So I think that with me coming into it, I have ADHD. It's like my head is a blender of just thoughts all the time. And I think that's why the Saw edits got increasingly more crazy. And as someone critic said, it's like they just put the footage in a blender, and that's kind of exactly what we did. I wanted to make it frenetic, crazy. I came from doing music videos, so it's very music video in the trap sequences. So I think that it was that. I wanted to keep it R-rated. I wanted to keep it hardcore. I wanted to keep it, not shy away from the violence and the gore and all that kind of stuff. So, I was in my 20s, and that was my film school. I mean, yeah, I went to Full Sail, but I'd never been on a set. I've never done anything like that. So I literally learned on the Saw sets what I was doing.
On Saw 2 specifically, that idea of the son being in the safe was not even part of it when we started shooting. We came up with that as we were filming. So it happens organically as we're going.
Okay.
So it's never in order like that.
Because I remember the line that there was the guy, which I hope one day to meet him. The guy, I remember.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Jigsaw, yeah.
Uh-huh. And he says, your son is in a
safe place.
I was like, dude, are you kidding me? He said it, and we didn't listen. And it was nuts.
Well, dude, thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate it.
I thank you as a filmmaker.
Do you want to hear a true story about these toasters?
I would love to hear a true story about these.
Chris, you're like this. I am at a place right down the street from us called the Front Yard. It's in this hotel. It's a bar. My wife and I are a little inebriated, and there's another couple that's also inebriated. No one else is in the bar.
Right.
They ask what we do, and I said I'm unemployed. And then she says, oh, I'm a graphic designer. And so after 3 drinks, I said, what kind of graphic design? She goes, oh, I do film posters. And I said, anything I would have seen.
Oh.
And she goes, my claim to fame is I am the fingers on the Saw 2 movie poster.
Oh,
and I go, excuse me? And she goes, and I did the teeth poster for Saw 3. And I look at her and I was like, are you fucking with me? And she goes, no. And I was like, you don't know who I am? She's like, no. And I go, I am the guy that directed the Saw 2 movie posters. She pulls out her phone. She strolls way back. And then she shows me the photo shoot of her fingers, her husband making the fingers, the whole, I see the whole process. I just randomly was sitting next to the woman's fingers who are on the Saw 2 and did this poster. Oh, yes, everyone. Addison, the producer of our podcast, this is her parents. I didn't put the two together because he looks like he's in his 30s and they're like sister and brother maybe, but
Something like that.
Well, that is so crazy. Nice to meet both of you, and thank you for giving birth to Addison.
Yeah.
It's Addison's parents. You never know who you're going to run into here at the con.
Everything is cyclical. I used to collect DVDs. I got rid of them. And then I now collect VHSs on every movie that made an impression on me as a kid.
Right.
So do you know the last horror movie released for Saw 2 on VHS? Not the last VHS made, the last horror movie mass-produced with VHS was Saw 2. I just found one because I've been looking for them every time I go to a convention. It was a few $100, but Saw 1 is like $5 on VHS. But now I have a display case of every movie that made an impression on me on VHS. Now I'm only buying 4K movies as opposed to renting them because I want my son to see it like in 4K and understand the idea of opening a DVD, having to put the manual effort in of doing that. It says, make your parents show you horror.
Yeah.
All right.
It has to dry, baby.
Yeah, just let it dry and then signed it in red for you, though.
Just for you.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yes, I think.
I like your dress. I almost wore that
lights
dress. It lights up. Mine didn't light up, but I almost wore that dress.
Nice. You would rock.
Do you know that we had to put Billy, that's the real Billy from Saw 3, and he was in my office for years. And then my kid's teacher came to our house for a meeting with my wife. She came in my office and she lost her fucking mind and told my wife, true story, that if child services were to ever hear about this, that we would have big issues. And my wife demanded I destroy my office, basically take down all the posters, all the props, and I had to hide Billy. So for 3 years, Billy was in a footrest at the couch, basically hidden in a footrest. And
my God.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What are you going to do? We are going to do it. It's going to be the movie Killer Con that we talked about. We actually talked about you 5 minutes ago. I didn't even know you were going to be here. I literally was just talking about you to somebody.
I don't even know where I am.
That makes multiple of us. Well, it's Kane Hodder.
I'm not supposed to choke anybody anymore, but...
Well, I'll try not to press charges.
What if Forrest Gump didn't just run across America, but instead ran from something? What if Toy Story was less heartwarming and more heart-stopping? Welcome to Page One Rewrite, where we take your favorite non-horror movies, flip the script, and ask that question that we've always wondered about. What if it was a horror movie all along? Maria was never supposed to be a nun. Not really, anyway. Her heart was too wild, man. Her soul just too broken. But after fleeing a violent childhood in a mental institution posing as a convent, she's given one final chance. Act as a governess to the 7 Van Trapp children, seated high in the remote Austrian Alps. At first, it's idyllic. The Von Trapps seem charming, especially the brooding war veteran, Captain George Von Trapp. But Maria senses something is wrong. The children speak in hushed tones about the shadows in the trees. Their bedrooms are covered in salt lines and crucifixes. The youngest, Gretel, doesn't speak ever since the things in the woods took her tongue and gave it back in a jar. Captain Von Trapp won't talk about the hills. They're old, he says, and old things don't like to be disturbed. One night while teaching the children to sing near the tree line, Maria sees something, a naked figure, pale and deformed, crouching in the brush, giggling, grinning. The next morning, Rolf, the telegram boy, is found skinned and hung upside down from the bell tower, his vocal cords threaded through his teeth like a necklace. Then the real music begins. The Von Trapps, they're not alone. Deep in the hills lives a tribe of inbred cannibalistic war deserters. They've been watching, waiting. They crave sound. They mimic voices. They hunt by song. When the family tries to flee, the tribe attacks with surgical brutality. One is dragged into the forest, her lungs used as wind instruments in a grotesque performance. Kurt's body is discovered, stuffed with recorder flutes, rib cage snapped open like a music box. Blood runs through the alpine streams as Maria and the captain fight to survive, armed only with hunting rifles, broken instruments, and sheer fury. In a horrifying twist, Maria discovers the true purpose of this assignment. The nuns, they weren't sending her to help the Von Trapps, no. They were sending her as a sacrifice. But Maria's no lamb. In a final act of defiance, Maria dons a crown of barbed wire. She lures the tribe with her beautiful singing voice into a death trap. The mountain collapses in fire and ice. Screams are swallowed by the snow. The film ends in eerie silence. The Von Trapps' estate lies in ruins. Maria stumbles down the mountains, her habit torn, her arms soaked in blood, and far behind her, From under a cracked glacier, a single whistle echoes through the valley. It's Doa Deer, a song she's very familiar with. The hills are alive with the sound of mutants. I'm Uncle Creepy. This was another page 1 rewrite.
We had a story meeting where we were trying to break the story, and I think that what interests me so much about this is the relationships at the con. There are people that are friends and family, and they do these cons back to back to back, and there's other people that are adversarial. They're standoffish.
Yes.
I had a very interesting moment that happened where Ashley Lawrence is an amazing actress. You would know her from playing in the original Hellraiser as Kirsty. She's been in a bunch of films that I really like. And in fact, about 6 years ago, I did an introduction for one of her movies on the DVD called Lightning Bug that I was a big fan of. I never heard from her after that. And we used to be kind of friends, didn't hear from her again. I see her at the con.
Yeah.
And I see that she's kind of diverting her eyes from me.
Oh.
And I walk up to her and she was like, "Can we talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she pulls me away. And I told Ashley, I'm going to have her on to tell the story, but somebody that told her that he said something to me that was very inappropriate about her. Meaning, Ashley said she wants to X, Y, or Z, and that never happened.
Sure.
It was the guy fucking with Ashley. But for 5 years, Ashley has avoided me at all these events. And so when I show up and she's looking the other way, and I was like, "Ashley, that didn't happen." And we talked, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad." Ashley's the nicest, coolest, and I'm saying this to a point of everyone has these in relationships.
Right.
And it was crazy because I was hearing there's like a I don't know, a green room, and I was hearing shit talking about, "Oh, did you see so-and-so wasn't at the table for the first hour and a half?"
Yeah, that's true.
It was awesome because these are actors that I've seen be badasses, and they're bitching about how that person got a coffee but didn't ask anyone else around if they wanted a coffee. And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I watched you kill someone on TV last night, and you're bitching about a Starbucks coffee right now." And I think awesome. that level of pettiness is something we have to lean into on this.
I've been watching and listening to all your episodes. So the only one I haven't caught up on is the one from this week. Okay. So I know about the con idea and the privilege idea too. Yep. But yeah, for the cons, it's like there's so many elements that go, like exactly what you said.
I was just talking to Bran again, and I said, "Stop. I'm just going to say this on camera." I think there is such this insane, weird thing about these conventions, which is some of the actors here that I'm seeing on either sides of me would not command a big payday on a film. They would most likely make Schedule F or minimum, but here they're stars. Here they will make. There are some actors here that I'm seeing that are going to clear probably more than I'll make in an entire year as a director on a weekend at one of these conventions. And it's fascinating to see because, so much of the time as filmmakers or producers, we're looking at, let's get so-and-so to be in the movie. We can get them for X amount of money. And of course they'll do it. Who else is offering them that? You got to realize that a lot of these actors, they lose money doing movies at this point. Like I'm over and I'm looking and I see a lot of the Terrifier people, they charge $50, $70, $80, $100 for an autograph, and they have lines that wrap around the building. And this is not just a convention. This is one of 52 conventions that will happen all over the year. And so there's a really interesting thing that as a film or as an actor in a movie, they might not make anything, but coming to one of these things, they're going to walk away with more than I will make, or most actors will make in the entire year, which is kind of an eye-opening thing to see.
All right, we are at day 2 of Spooky Empire. I'm very excited to see what this poster is. This is my man Phil. Phil, where are you from?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I love it. All right, what do you got?
Anytime someone comes to my table and gets something, I do a bad magic trick, and I drink all day. So I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to drink all day.
Okay.
So usually the tricks in the beginning of the day are a lot better than the tricks at the end of the day. And so I started off and it was awesome. Like everyone was coming over and they were like, "Oh my God, this is so cool." Cut to like 4 hours yesterday in, I probably had 5 drinks and like the cards were falling out of my hands and I thought I was awesome. And then I could just see the disappointment on certain fans' faces. So I put them away. The mini cursor's roll down there. Yep. Grab anything. See guys, this is my used car salesman. Normally I'm trying to make movies. Now I'm trying to sell goods.
Watch this trick.
Right, do this deck. Because this deck's a trick deck and I just dropped it and it revealed all my tricks. That's a real deck.
Okay.
Watch this.
Okay, I can't wait.
8 of spades. Ace of hearts.
Spiral was actually the first movie I saw back in theaters post-COVID. I was so excited for it.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for coming out.
Yes, of course, thank you. So I can honestly say to all of you, I made the most successful and least successful Saw film. That's this guy, financially. So yeah, it sucked because Saw on Spiral, 3 things happened. COVID happened. We were the first movie back when the theaters opened up and all the theaters were sold out. I remember going to our AMC and it was sold out, sold out, sold out. And you walk in the theater and it's like 9 people because they have tape over 4 seats. It's like 2 people, tape, 2 people, tape. And so it opened so lackluster, but they called it a sellout. But it wasn't a sellout because it was COVID time. Secondly, the fans kind of turned on Spiral because it wasn't Saw X. It wasn't Jigsaw. The idea was always supposed to be that Spiral was going to come out and a few months later, the next Saw film with Jigsaw, and it was going to create a side-by-side world. Well, when COVID happened, there was no side-by-side world. They couldn't shoot Saw X. So now Spiral's out there by itself and everyone thinks, this is it? This is what we've been waiting for? That was never, it was always supposed to be Jigsaw, was supposed to be the next one, or Saw X right after that. So I think that was a huge thing for me emotionally because it felt like I went back to blackjack and, I not only lost all the money I had, I went into massive debt with the fans because they were excited I was coming back and they're like, oh, dude, you fucked it up. Where's Jigsaw? Where's this? Where's that? And it was never supposed to be that. So I guess my answer would be that. You're probably looking for what's the hardest trap to film. I'm going to give you more emotional than that. There is a new 4K disc of this coming out in June, and we are going to do a huge documentary on the fandom and the cosplay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was just showing last night, this was Paris on Halloween.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Last night?
She dressed up.
As Amber Sweet.
So what's more terrifying to direct, a torture scene or a musical number?
I mean, the musicals are so much harder than Saw. I mean, when you're doing something like Repo, has anyone here seen Repo? Oh, yeah. I want to see you all at my fucking table later then.
For the magic.
Yeah, for the magic. Repo started as a stage show. It was the first thing I directed when I came to LA. I was 21 years old. I came to LA to direct musicals. That's ridiculous. I never thought of myself doing horror films. It was musicals. I wanted to do musical theater. And I got an opportunity to direct there was a 4-song CD libretto called Necro Merchant's Debt, which was what Terrence and Darren Smith that's what Repo was based off of. And we got a black box theater and we directed it. And it was this insane, you felt like you were doing something cool. It felt like you were doing something punk rock. And I think that everyone involved in it, the infectious like nature of it, was something that became a drug. It was addictive. Every day that we would do the show in front of a live audience, it was just punk rock. And we all knew it. And so when I left doing Repo, the stage show, I said, if I ever make it as a filmmaker, I'm coming back and doing this as a film. And I don't think anyone believed it. And then cut to 5 years later, I had the ability to turn it into a movie. But the thing that you don't realize, when you make Saw and you go on set, you talk to Shawnee Smith or Tobin Bell and you can alter, you can change. You can say, Tobin, that's cool. Do you mind saying it like this now? Or Shawnee, do you mind doing it like this? When you do a musical, you do it months in advance. All the songs are recorded 4 months earlier. Which means in the case of Repo, it's 56 songs, there's no spoken lines in it. Everything was pre-recorded. So if Shiloh decides to sing 17 one way and then she comes on set and looks at the set and says, no, I want to do it this way, she can't. We're stuck into the way that she did it months earlier. Also, you're dealing with singing and you're dealing with dancing and choreography and lip syncing. And this is the thing that I didn't realize how big a deal lip syncing is. People think they can lip sync because they might sing along in the car, but to match every vocalization, every lip movement, every stutter, quiver, breath, you have to practice hours and hours and hours a day to get it. And so much of the time, Repo was edited, not because that was necessarily the way we wanted to edit it, but we had to cut around bad lip sync. And so from a technical standpoint, Repo was harder, but that infectious energy that I was talking about, I've never had it on a movie since. When you were on set, it felt like you were in Alice in Wonderland, because we shot it in Toronto and in a very kind of sketchy area, and it was a huge soundstage and every environment was built. And I remember when the doors would open up, the first thing you saw was the cemetery, and smoke would just pour out at you. And then it was all in front of you, the cemetery, the Wallace household, the exterior of the Wallace household, the interior, the opera house, everything was there. And it felt like you stepped into this magical world. And we had speakers all around us, and it was blaring at all time. And there was these very sexy, outlandish outfits people were walking around in. I haven't had that since. Devil's Carnival a little bit, but it to me went back to that punk rock feel of why I wanted to make movies to begin with. I knew we were doing something cool making that movie, which you don't feel a lot.
I think a privilege is, we understand it. The thing we're trying to figure out here is tone, because I think that we none of us want it to be slapstick. It's not that, but I do want it to be comedy by the way of a drama, meaning that no one realizes. Everyone plays it straight, everyone plays it serious, but that in of itself makes it hilarious. Right. So it is a balancing that line. And I'm trying to think of comps movie-wise. The only thing I can think of is Christopher Guest movies like Waiting for Guffman or Best in Show. They're not joking when they're doing it. They're playing it completely serious, but in and of itself becomes funny. I would love the first act to be overly dramatic, like Wrestler, and then that would basically it's a lead up to a punch when it turns in. We don't know what the inciting incident is. And I think that's the big issue, is what is the thing?
I like that you said that you invited, or the person like hired everyone there.
Well,
kind of.
Yep. I heard a couple of stories recently, because I walked around and asked people what's the worst con story.
Oh, that is a con story that was bad. I had one of those.
There was one where everyone got guarantees, and there was a flash flood, and no one attended the con, and so no one could get their guarantees, and all these people were out there, and it was a fucking, like, it was just intense, and it was yelling and screaming. Like, I'm almost wondering if there is, we don't know what that is. We don't know what's going to cause Kane, Hodder, and everyone else to go fucking ape shit. Whether that is an alien invasion, which is not going to be, or something else. But there were real weapons on the con floor, by the way. There were real weapons. They were selling machetes on the actual...
that were real machetes?
That were real machetes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably.
People were walking around with maces, like real maces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we got to figure out what that... I still want to go back to that idea where somebody has held... Like, there was 4 different conventions going on at Streaky Empire. Above us, there was something business, because everyone was in suit and ties. The idea that a group of armed men descend on that floor, and before they can turn around, they realize, oh fuck, we're on the wrong floor. They have to lock it down to the police. So it's like no one can get in or out of the floor. It's held hostage.
Right.
So if you have a group of people that have held this floor hostage, and it's on the 5th floor, so no one's going up, no one's going down, and there's 10 armed men. So that is Die Hard-esque.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. To move this forward, we need to start locking things in and seeing if it sticks. And I think that, any good movie like this, if it's going to be fun, needs an iconic killer.
Yes.
Yeah. And who is that thing? Well, I did a TV show in Japan. I was there for months and months and months. There was a story going on that, like J-pop or K-pop, there's J-pop groups. There was a girl who was stabbed and attacked at a signing. And yeah, she was, I'm sure if you Google it, I'll put it on screen right now. I don't know her name. She survived it, but he cut her bad. And it was a fan that got close to her and was able to attack her. And wow, keep it light. So there are people like that. I think let's decide who the villain is. Who is the force that is going to be going over the con?
What do you do in Japan? What is it?
I'm directing, and I do the special effects, and
that's insane. In Japanese.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Can I give you?
I would love.
Yeah, this is my feature. It's Bakemono meets monster in Japanese. So,
where can I find this? Where can I get this?
Here. I'll give it to you.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I just shot a new one. And anyway, Yeah, I was stuck.
I got excited. I saw Takeshi. I was like, is that going to be Takeshi Miike? It's not. You're Doug Ross. Ruth? Dude, that's so cool.
Oh, thanks.
So do you know, how long have you lived in Japan?
8 years.
Do you know Mr. Akimoto? He does AKB48. He's like in charge of the AKB48 franchise. So we shot this thing called Crow's Blood. It's we shot it all around Japan, featuring the singers of AKB48.
Wow.
It was pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Well, can I get you guys anything? Can I sign anything for you guys?
Yep.
Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we've been collecting.
I've never seen Daniel sign anything. That's Eric Knudsen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, no, he just happened to be there by coincidence, same time as Shawnee and Costas.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, my God, no, I got to get, because, Saw 2 is, like, for both of us, like, our favorite of the series. So, like, hell yeah. And I'm sorry, a safe place. So, like, Science, Jigsaw operates entirely on dad jokes.
Do you know what? If you go on this podcast that we just interviewed Tobin, and he brings his notebooks, and you see what the Saw 2 notebook looked like that he was writing while making Saw 2, it's awesome. It's worth watching just the Tobin Bell episode. It goes back to the same thing I was talking about magic, how I love magic. And I look at things cinematically as being magic tricks. That's all it is. We're trying to convince you of something that isn't real. You know, when you see a movie, it's not real. But a good filmmaker can make you suspend disbelief and transport you. But if you can take that to another level and actually not rely on visual effects, because I could have done that much easier with visual effects, much easier. And for those that don't know what he's talking about, there's a scene where a girl is in a trap and her scalp's being ripped off, and she's tossed through. Before I go there, the next scene that directly follow the trap is in a police station. I wanted there to be a seamless transition between one to the other. And the easiest way as a filmmaker is a hard cut. You hard cut in the middle of it, and you have a musical cue that carries you over. And I said, what if we just threw her into the police station? And so the first idea, they said, we can put the police station on one side and this trap on the other, and you can just whip pan over. And I said, that's fucking lame. Let's do something better than that. And so we created a flat with a two-way mirror, or a candy mirror, basically. You do a 360 in the trap room, so you see all sides of the trap room. And then he throws her through the window. And as he throws her through the window, the Steadicam operator goes through the mirror, and that entire set falls over on itself. It's on like a hinge. And now we do another 360 inside the police station. And it was awesome. I remember that was one of the days that everyone claps on set because you did something cool then. It's been very hard to do those since. We did a handful of them in Saw 2 and 3. It's been hard because those take time. Those take time to make. I think I had 35 days when I shot Saw 3 and 4. I think I have 18 days on the next movie I'm doing. It's like, because movies now, they have to be made for a lot less money. And those things take time. So now they're like, just do it in a visual effect. Just make it a visual effect. And that's not a magic trick to me. Magic trick is the artistry of the production designer, the camera team, the stunt actors, the special effects. Everyone gets to show what they do well. That to me is when you get the best out of someone. Not just here we're making widgets, but I'm tasked the special effects team with, I need to be able to do a breakaway mirror attached to this thing. I need to task the builders. I want this thing to be on a hinge set. So everyone now has something they feel like they're passionate about. That's their art project. But that's how we did that. There were some in Spiral as well. They cut them out, and it kills me. I shot 4 or 5 transitions like that in Spiral. Spiral was the hardest Saw movie I've made because there was so much writing on it. They had spent so much money on it, and they wanted it to be more commercial. And I think they referred to it as my prestigious film school transitions. No one wants to see those. And I was like, you're wrong. That's why Saw works, are these little things like that. So hopefully at some point, someday, they'll release the Spiral, my version of it, which is quite different than the one that was released theatrically. Having to go through the Comic-Con with Paris Hilton was one of the most insane experiences. It was like she was Bono or, Springsteen or Prince. I had 3 times, and I think Brannigan must have got it on camera, where someone came to my table and they were like, oh, I loved Saw 3D, or Saw X is my favorite. Awesome job. And I was like, God damn it. There's one girl came to the table and she goes, I love Saw 3D. And I was like, I don't think anyone loves Saw 3D. And she goes, no, I love Saw 3D when the boob came at camera. And I was like, no boob came at camera. She's like, no, a gelatin boobie came at camera. And I was like, that didn't happen. And so I called Kevin Greuter at the table and I was like, oh yeah, that did happen.
That's so funny.
I had no idea.
That's awesome. What's the term? They say gaslit her.
I know, I did.
One of my favorite gags from Piranha 3D, which is you can't see in the movie.
I met Piranha
Morgan.
3D.
Thank you so much.
If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch the movie. It's fucking hilarious,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Like legit.
Legit.
So it's an amazing,
It's really great.
ridiculous time.
It's so ridiculous.
My favorite gag from the movie that was in the film, but you can't see it well enough is the girl, the porn star, what's her name? Riley Steele. She gets eaten by piranhas and she's got big fake boobs. And she gets eaten by piranhas. And then you get the shot of her dying, and then you follow down the two saline boob. What do they call
implants?
Implants. Yeah. You watch them fall to the ground because
amazing.
I think he was
the piranhas
pretending
eat
to not
everything
know.
except for her saline boobs. Yeah.
That's hysterical.
It's a good gag, but it wasn't lit right.
We haven't talked. What's your favorite death that you've done?
Definitely sorority row, bottle down the throat, smash it in the throat, and the blood kind of spills up into the bottle. That's my favorite.
Can I tell you the first thing that Josh said to me when I met him?
Oh no, this is gonna be bad.
No.
Because was I drunk?
We met at I think we talked about this at the Rob Zombie premiere for 3 from Hell.
Yeah.
And I said, so like you do all these kills, like what's going on in your mind? And he's like, when I meet someone, the first thing I think is, how would I kill them?
Wait, really?
That sounds like me. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. I need to fucking know. So we'll start with Darren. How would you kill Darren?
That's a great question.
I can't off the top of my head.
I did an entire movie for one kill.
Yeah.
And I remember it's one of my least popular films, and I like it. I stand by it. I throw movies I do under the bus all the time. I like this one. And I remember right before we filmed it, I got frantically called into the producer's trailer, and he goes, "We're not really doing this." And I was like, "We absolutely." Listen, Darren, this is jumping the shark. And I was like, "I will fucking quit right now. This is the only reason I did this movie." And it is strangulation with an umbilical cord. Agatha. So
Shout out Sabrina Kern.
Yeah, a girl, you see her give birth, and she picks up the baby, and someone's trying to take it from her, and the whole idea is that in this nunnery, they take the babies and kill the mothers, and so she gets in a fight with an evil nun, but the baby's there, and then she takes a rock and she breaks the umbilical cord off, and then strangles the other nun. And it is disgusting. And I remember I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, and I just see the producers all looking at each other, just shaking their
Like,
head.
no, this is not.
You know how I knew that was one of your favorite deaths? It's one of the longest deaths.
So it is.
In any of
Strangling
Darren's films.
forever.
Just
Forever.
strangling.
Yeah.
Guys, it's here. We're at the con. We're at Spooky Empire in Orlando. And, you never know who you meet walking around the floor. Actually, not even walking around the floor. You guys have basically camped out in Orlando for like the next 2 weeks, or you've been here for a few weeks. Or did you just get here? What the fuck are you doing in Orlando?
Yeah, we came here about on the 23rd, I think it was. We mostly came for all the theme parks and all that, and then we realized you guys were all here, so thought we'd pop in.
So let's introduce them first. So there has been this huge, a lot of noise when this actually first came out and the images started coming out. A lot of people are upset with their movies. They were fucking up and perverting childhood books and memories of the Poovers. That was the first one, right? That was the first one that I actually saw chatter of people saying, "Fuck you!
Yeah.
Why are you guys doing it?" And even celebrities were being like, "This is exploitative," and that made me very happy. So these are the guys behind some of the outrage you might have seen about taking our classic stories and once they turn to public domain, fucking them. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
Yeah, so I'm Reese Frake, this is Scott Chambers, and we're both we're involved in everything in creating the whole Twisted Childhood universe. So that includes like the Blood and Honey films. So I directed number 1 and number 2. We produced them, wrote them, edited them, and then you directed
Peter Pan's Devil and Nightmare.
Yeah, and then we produced the Bambi one, and most recently we've done Pinocchio, which we're editing now. It should be out in like a couple of months.
And last night I was I was going down the rabbit hole on IMDb, and then it linked me to stuff, and I was looking at some of the images of Pinocchio. That shit's frightening.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, we've got someone called Todd Masters. He's the guy who made, did you see Child's Play, the 2019 one? Yeah. So he made the doll for that and the boy. So yeah, we got him on board Super Tokyo.
That's Richard Brake and Robert Englund in that one. You guys are elevating. Each one of these is getting bigger, and you're getting names coming into them now, which is fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan.
Where did this idea come from? I mean, when you guys are just like, you know what, let's go pervert childhood. I mean, were you looking at when to copyright things end, and then you're like, boom, like how did that happen?
Yeah, so we've got no kind of film school training, and we had a bit of a different background, and we started in I was actually working in the energy industry for a while, and we just started wanting to get into filmmaking. We made in the space of about 2 or 3 years, we made about 100 feature films, most of them shot in about 7 days. So we were just going crazy. It was like a crash course on filmmaking. And then we saw that came out, and we started thinking, how can we get more of a hook and more attention to the films we were making? Winnie came out, Winnie was in the public domain, and we thought, this would be fun. Let's do this.
But it wasn't that deep. People are like, oh, you're ruining childhoods. It was that year we did 47 films, and it was just on the conveyor belt. And it was and then one night I woke up to go to the toilet, and then when I was in bed, I was on Twitter and it had gone viral, and I was like, shit. I was like, fuck. And then, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I just watched, it was a mini documentary, and it was on Escape from Tomorrow, the one they shot in Disneyland or Disney World. And they said it actually had a backlash because the guy who made it, who shot the entire thing in both Disney parks, thought that he was going to do it, and he was going to use the outrage that Disney had, and that was going to propel the movie. But Disney took the reverse approach and didn't say shit about it, and then the movie died because he didn't happen what they thought were. That was not the case on this. I remember as I was doing my doom scrolling, you would just see random attacks about why do people have to do this, fuck that, and it made me very happy. And a connection between us is Andrew Scott Bell, who does our opening jingle and did the composition, did your score.
Yeah, he scores a lot of our films. He did Blood and Honey 1, Blood and Honey 2. He's doing Pinocchio as well.
We just want to work with friends, though, aren't we? As soon as we get people that we like, we just want to keep working together. We've just made.
I think what you said is right with because we were initially when we made Blood and Honey 1, we were a bit like, have we done everything right? Are we about to get a call from Disney, shutting us down? And it was completely radio silence from them. And I think it was that exact same reason.
Oh, they might just seen me and gone, here I do well in jail because it's my company and I'll be screwed. Yeah.
So, one of the things, and you guys have been listening to the podcast, so I thank you. We're trying to do two things. We're making a movie, and at the same time we're talking to aspiring filmmakers. You said you had no formal training. Then how did this come together? How did you guys start doing these things? You're not just making short films. I mean, you guys are doing full-on features. How did this come about?
Yeah, mostly at the start, just for really trial and error. The films were made on the batch we did before, and we were taking more of a concept approach and basically nothing. We were just getting what we could, shooting it in 7 days, and then moving on to the next film.
So finance, and you can use any cameras now, so that's a real good thing.
Guys, look really quick. Look who's walking behind us. Jigsaw and Amanda.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sorry, it's really exciting. So what was it? So what was the first film you guys made? What was the first one?
We've made it's actually hard to pinpoint, but we've made everything from serial killer Christmas trees to dinosaurs stuck in prison to dragon films to just everything, a lot of the mockbuster ones, a lot of doll films as well. So yeah, what was your first one?
Oh, Darker Shades of Elise. I was ripping off 50 Shades of Grey.
You guys are fucking, they're the new trauma. I mean, you're turning these things out, which is awesome. One of the things about this convention circuit I noticed about Blood and Honey was I started seeing Halloween. Was it I don't know when it was, 2 years ago? When did Blood and Honey come out?
When was it? 2023?
Yeah, I think it was 23.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I saw people cosplaying it and wearing it.
Yeah.
Is that crazy for you?
Yeah.
That you walk around and the people are dressed like that specific version of him?
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd because obviously we'd made so many films before and it's really hard to get any traction with anything. But as soon as Blood and Honey kind of blew up, it wasn't just a tiny step up. It went global everywhere.
Yeah,
extremely viral.
CNN News,
TMZ.
Yeah, it was mental. And you're on CNN News. They're being all nice to you. Come off, and you can see it still playing as you're leaving, and they're slagging you off. You're like, let me get back on because that's what.
Do you remember we had a premiere in Mexico?
Oh yeah,
and yeah, we went there and we was expecting it to be quite small still.
Just normal.
And we got there and just their set decor and how they kitted out the premiere was. There was more money which went into that than the actual film.
Yeah.
We were like, fucking hell. And this was the first time anyone was watching it.
Yeah.
And then we were shitting it a bit.
They know what they're watching.
I think what's cool is that it wasn't a one and done. You guys doubled down. You did it, and then you're like, oh, that was cool. That was a novel idea. And then you did it again and again and again and again. And you're just fucking them all up now. I mean, you were just going one after another. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to filmmakers that are just starting off, trying to make their first film?
I think it's important to, a lot of people say, emphasize the importance of doing like, just going out and doing it and the practical side of it. But I actually think it's good to balance both. Do it, go and shoot stuff, do it cheap. Don't put all your money into your first film because everyone says that, just go and make one. But your first film is going to be absolute trash. It's going to be the worst thing in the world. So just do it super cheap, learn from it, and then start to like research a little bit online about like filmmaking. Something I do is every time I go to the cinema, if I love a film, I'll normally go again. And on the second time is I'll just critically analyze it. I'll be like, okay, I love that scene. Yeah. Why did I like that scene? What were they doing with the sound? What were they doing with the shots? And then you start kind of processing that a lot. And then you trying to incorporate that into your next film. Keep doing that and just make it on base. At the start, you're going to have to make it on nothing. No studio is ever going to take you on and put you on a £2 to £5 million project straight away.
And if you end up doing something like them with a public domain or copyright, have a baby face. So the studio that has those rights are not going to send you to prison, lest something like Oz, if you've ever seen the TV show Oz, happens to you. So that's probably why he's not in jail right now.
He's the baby face, Ross.
Well, I have a feeling that Josh, who I know wants to have you on a full proper episode via Zoom. So we're going to have you on a real episode, but I wanted to say hello and introduce you to everyone here. And if you've not seen, what did you call it? The universe? The
universe is the Twisted Childhood universe, but the big film for us, which we're working towards now, is Pooniverse Monsters Assemble.
Pooniverse.
Yeah. And that's
not to be confused with the porn version of that, which is a completely different thing. But sorry, go ahead. The Pooniverse.
But yeah, that's our Avengers style film. That's where we're getting all the blood and honey characters, Bambi, Pinocchio, Peter Pan. They're all coming together.
It is the Avengers.
Exactly.
The Pooniverse. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ages to watch.
Wow. Day 3 of the con. I'm utterly exhausted. It feels like I have sprinted a marathon. Who thought that standing in one place, getting your ass kissed would be so exhausting? It is. It's amazing to see how work that you do affects other people, and to be able to see people dressing up like characters in my movies, or them sharing a story about where they were in their lives the first time they watched it with their parent or their sibling. It reminds you why you do this. I was able to speak to quite a few of the people, from Method Man to Nicholas Hoult to Kane Hodder, William Forsythe, Greg Nicotero, Danielle Harris. It was good because I was able to start to understand the relationships in these cons. And I think where the drama and friction would come from in these. I myself was involved in a little high school drama, which I can't talk about here because I would just be perpetuating the high school drama, and then it would turn into a Kendrick Lamar Drake beef between me and someone else, which I'm not going to do because we all know I would win in a battle rap. But I am excited to get home, and I don't know how these people that go on the tours do it. Like, I don't know how Bill Moseley or Kane Hodder does it, because I think I need a vacation from my life right now after doing this thing. But thanks to everyone that came out. Big thanks to Brand again. He's holding the camera there. That came out and had to deal with the insanity. And what the fuck did Josh do this weekend? I'm sitting in his fucking house doing nothing. Cheers.
That's a wrap on today's episode. Please give the show a follow, and if you could leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, each post helps us reach more listeners like you. Another way to support us is to join the crew at djmakeamovie.com. We'd love to hear from you. Follow and join the conversation at DJ Make a Movie on all social platforms. Let's make a movie together.
Darren and Josh Make a Movie, Season 1. Hosted by Darren Bousman and Josh Stolberg. Produced by Addison Marshall. email the team at djmakeamovie@gmail.com. To watch on video and enjoy all the visuals you may have missed listening to the audio version of the show, subscribe to the Darren and Josh Make a Movie YouTube channel. Thank you for joining.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.
No, it's not creepy at all.
I run a house with 50 crazy bitches. Taught them to survive.
This is real life!
You're hallucinating.
It is real.
This is okay.
That girl really needs to learn to keep her mouth shut.
A man with each other.
That is disgusting. Is that a fucking piranha? They took my penis! They took my penis! Oh, I wish I hadn't seen that.
You haven't seen anything yet.
You wanna play games, motherfucker?
Citrate comes in a little glass vial.
Hallelujah!
Darren and Josh make a movie.
Cut, Casper. That's a wrap.